Welcome to another deep dive from Everything AI.
Great to be here.
So today we're tackling a really fundamental question, I think.
Yeah, a big one.
Is AI genuinely creative? Or is it really just, mimicking what it's learned?
Right. Is it invention or just very clever remixing?
Exactly. And it's everywhere now, this AI-generated content.
Poems, art, music, even business strategies.
Which brings us to the core of it for you, our listeners. What does this all mean for your creativity?
How do you stand out? How do you keep innovating when machines can generate so much?
Yeah, this isn't just some abstract chat about art theory.
No, it's really about how you think, how you solve problems, and, well, what makes your contribution unique?
Okay, so let's try and unpack this. First things first. What do we actually mean by creative?
That's definitely the place to start. It's a tricky word.
A bit loaded.
A bit. Generally, we talk about creating something original, right?
Novel, maybe valuable ideas.
Yes, novel and valuable.
Yeah.
And also maybe combining existing things in like surprising or useful new ways.
Okay. So does AI check those boxes?
Well, it certainly seems to. It can generate stuff we've never seen before.
Totally new poems, bizarre, dreamlike images.
Even business plans that look pretty innovative on the surface.
So the novelty part? Maybe.
It undeniably produces output that is technically new.
Yeah.
But the deeper question is that output valuable? Does it have meaning in the way human creation often does?
Right. Is there, like, a purpose behind it? Significance?
Or even just intention? Is the AI trying to be creative?
Which reminds me of that quote we found.
Oh, yeah, the one about creativity isn't just about making something new.
It's about making something worth making.
Exactly. And that worth making part, that feels very human, doesn't it?
It really does. It brings in judgment, values, that whole sense of purpose.
The why behind the what's.
Okay, so that's the definition side. Now, how do these creative AIs actually work, like ChatGPT, Midjourney, Claude?
Right. Understanding the mechanics is pretty crucial here. It's easy to think they're, thinking like us, like an artist having an idea.
But that's not really it, is it?
Not quite. These systems, especially the large language models, they're incredibly good at pattern prediction.
So when ChatGPT writes something, it's not like it's accessing memories or feelings.
No. It's basically predicting the next most statistically likely word based on the billions of sentences it was trained on.
Just probabilities based on massive amounts of text data?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
It learns structures, associations, styles from that data. Image generators do something similar, but with visual patterns from countless images.
So they blend and remix those patterns based on our prompts.
Exactly. And, the data itself influences the output. Biases in the data can show up, or it might just not have data for certain concepts.
Which means what looks like creativity.
Often boils down to really sophisticated remixing, reassembling pieces based on the instructions, the prompt.
Like if you ask it to write a Shakespearean sonnet about, I don't know, your cat.
Right. It can do a remarkably good job mimicking the language, the rhythm, the themes of Shakespeare.
Because it's seen so much Shakespeare and so much text about Shakespeare.
Precisely. It's drawing on that vast ocean of human-created content.
Some results are uncanny, though. It really makes you pause.
It does.
Is this originality? Or just an incredibly advanced mirror reflecting what it's already seen?
And that's the million-dollar question, isn't it? It's working with learned patterns, fundamentally.
Okay, so AI is amazing at mimicry and remixing, but human creativity, it still has its own unique strengths, right? We're not obsolete yet.
Oh, absolutely not. There are definite advantages humans still hold. Key differences.
Let's get into those. The first one that seems obvious is lived experience.
Yes, this is huge. AI processes data, sure, but it hasn't lived.
It hasn't felt heartbreak or joy or navigated complicated family stuff or grown up in a specific place and time.
Exactly. All those personal histories, emotions, cultural nuances, they shape your perspective, your unique filter on the world.
And that filters into your creative work in a way AI just can't replicate.
It can simulate understanding emotion based on text, but it hasn't felt it. That's a fundamental difference. When you create, you bring your whole self.
Okay, so lived experience. What else?
Intent. Purpose.
Ah, the why again.
Yeah. AI creates because we tell it to. We give it the prompt, the goal.
The underlying reason, the motivation, the feeling you want to express that comes from the human.
Right. If you ask AI to paint a lonely robot, the idea of loneliness, the choice to explore that theme, that's human intent driving the tool.
The AI is executing the task, but the impulse is ours.
The meaning originates with us.
Makes sense. And then there's a third one, risk.
Yeah, this one's interesting. When you, as a human, put your creative work out
Your
there,
writing, your art, your music.
you're making yourself vulnerable,
Right.
right? You risk judgment, criticism, misunderstanding.
Definitely. There's a personal stake. You're
Yeah.
saying, here's a piece of me.
AI doesn't face that. It generates output,
Mm-hmm.
but there's no personal vulnerability, no fear of rejection.
And that risk-taking, that act of putting yourself out there, maybe that adds something.
I think it adds depth,
Mm.
authenticity. There was that other great line, AI can paint a picture.
But only you can decide what's worth painting.
Yeah, that really captures the human element of choice and value.
Okay, so it's not really about humans versus AI creativity.
No, the real potential seems to lie in how they can work together.
Yeah.
Synergy.
Combining those different strengths.
Exactly.
So how can you, the listener, actually do that? How can you collaborate creatively with AI? We saw, what, 3 main ways?
Yeah, 3 broad approaches. First, you can think of AI as an assistant.
Like a brainstorming buddy.
Sort of, yeah. Use it for generating initial ideas, outlining things, maybe getting a first rough draft of some text or code down.
So you could ask it for, like, 5 headline ideas for my blog post, or suggest metaphors for burnout.
Right. Quick suggestions, raw material to get you started. It's great for overcoming that blank page fear.
Okay, that's AI as assistant. What's next?
AI is more of a collaborator, a partner.
How does that work?
It's more of a back and forth. You create something, then maybe ask the AI to critique it or suggest improvements.
Or maybe the AI generates something basic and then you take it and build on it, refine it, add your own touch.
Exactly, like using an AI image as a base layer and then digitally painting over it, adding your style.
Yeah.
Or writing a paragraph and asking AI to rephrase it for clarity. It's iterative.
A feedback loop. Got it. And the third one sounded quite cool. AI as a muse.
Yeah, this is where it can get really interesting and maybe a bit weird in a good way.
Weird how?
By giving AI really unusual or unexpected prompts, you can sometimes trigger genuinely novel outputs that spark your creativity in ways you didn't anticipate.
Okay, give me an example.
Something like design a clothing line inspired by deep-sea creatures and Art Deco architecture.
Whoa! Okay, that's specific.
Right. It forces the AI to combine concepts in a way that might generate something truly unique, something that pushes your thinking into new territory.
So it's not about letting AI create for you, but using it to jolt your own imagination?
Exactly. Expanding your creative playground.
I like that. It reminds me of that other quote, the next Picasso.
Won't paint like a machine.
They'll teach the machine to paint like them.
Yes. That perfectly captures it. The human artist remains the director, using AI to amplify their unique vision, their style.
So looking ahead, what does this all mean for the future of creativity as AI gets even better?
Well, we'll likely see more and more works that are deeply integrated, blurring the lines.
You mean like books genuinely co-authored by humans and AI?
Could be. Or music composed partly by humans, partly by AI interpreting brainwaves or emotions. Visual art that seamlessly blends traditional skills with AI generation.
So the really important question isn't, can AI be creative anymore?
Right. It's shifting. Now it's more like, okay, AI can do these things, so what are we going to do differently?
How do we adapt? How do we leverage this?
It's a chance, really, to redefine what it means to be an artist, a writer, a designer, a thinker in this new landscape.
And your value isn't competing on speed or volume.
No. Your value lies in bringing what AI can't. That meaning, that soul, the lived experience, the intention, the why.
So let's try and wrap this up. AI can simulate creativity. It can mimic.
But you provide the purpose, the spark.
AI remixes what exists.
But your judgment decides what's meaningful, what matters.
So for everyone listening, if you create anything, code, art, strategies, writing, this isn't the time to ball back.
No, definitely not. It's time to lean in, actually, to enhance your skills.
Use the tools, experiment.
Absolutely, but always infuse it with your unique story, your perspective, your passion. That's the human edge.
Now, next time on Everything AI, we're actually going to get practical about this. We'll dig into how you can train AI, customize it to really work for you.
Yeah, looking at things like custom GPTs, memory, workflows, making AI fit your needs, not the other way around.
Should be really useful. So if you found today's deep dive helpful or interesting,
please do share with someone else who might get something out of it.
Or maybe leave us a review. It genuinely helps other people find the show.
We really appreciate the support. Let's just keep having these conversations.
So until our next exploration, create boldly, collaborate wisely, and always remember, It's not just about how fast AI moves.
It's about keeping your humanity central to whatever you create.
And please subscribe to Echoes of the Past for more discussions like this one. We love having you along for the ride, and your curiosity is what keeps us going. So thank you for being part of this journey.